I was living in Louisville, Kentucky, on the second floor of this old building. The landlady came up and asked me if I would go down and take a look at the water heater. The water heater went off. So I went down in the basement, lit the power on the water heater, got the water heater going, and I was looking around, and there was all this stained glass equipment, glass, some cutters, some tools, and I went back upstairs and I asked her, what all that was, and she told me, and I said, well, do you mind if I take it upstairs and play with it? So for the next 3 months, I was coming home from work and going upstairs and cutting glass and read some books and was learning how to make stained glass panels and what they call sun catchers. And I made some sun catchers, and I was working, known to me, the landlady was working at one of the oldest stained glass studios in the United States. And she was going to the owner after a couple of months and saying, you need to hire this guy. I mean, he's upstairs and he's working diligently and he's making all these panels and all these little pieces. And John Huygen gave me a call one morning and asked me if I would like to come down and be an apprentice at Blum Ornamental Glass Company. And I said, certainly I would. So I went down and began working, and there were two old Germans there, Walter and Erwin Sohl, and combined they had 100+ years in the stained glass business. One of them had been in for 57 years, and the brother had been in for 60 years. And they taught me well. They taught me a lot about stained glass and etched glass. There's all sorts of forms of glass, beveled glass, copper foiling, leaded glass. A lot of people know stained glass as either art glass or leaded glass, but there's the actual true form of stained glass is that you have a stain and you put it on the glass and you actually stain the glass. And painted work, of course, is where you paint ground glass, very, very fine ground glass, and you combine it with an oil or water and a substance called gum arabic, and you paint it on the glass and then you fire it and it becomes part of the glass. It's actually fused to the glass.
During the planning stages of creating The Art of Southern Living, we called on Steve to design an original piece for the show. We followed Steve step by step through the whole process, from designing the door to its final completion.
Well, about 2 months ago, you came to me and asked me to design a stained glass panel for a door. And you decided on what size you wanted, on what size the panel would be, what type of wood you wanted with the door. So we went ahead and ordered the door, and I did a sketch of the design that you wanted. And we came up with a tree and a little scene with a cobblestone walk in front of it or beside it. And then when we drew the full scale or the full size picture, we decided on what glass we wanted. And for the sky, this particular glass would be a cathedral glass. It's called a CD, and it has like little droplets in it. It looks like it's raining. And then the model glass or the opalescent glass is picked for the leaves and the green in the tree, and we have other glass that's picked out for the rest of it. The next step will be to, after all the glass is cut, by the way, will not be a 10 or 15 minute step. It takes several days. And the next step will be to assemble the stained glass panel or door. Here we are about a week later, several hours cutting glass and getting ready to assemble the stained glass panel and fitting everything. We have laid out the actual pattern, the actual This is what the stained glass piece is going to be. Outside border is laid out with the stops to hold everything in place as I build it, as we go along here. And as you saw, I just trimmed a piece of glass. I cut the pieces very, very close, not exactly, but pretty close to what I want, and then I fit it so it fits much better and precise, and it's held together. Well, now we are finishing up and doing one of the final steps, which is soldering, and putting everything together here, and soldering all the joints so the stained glass piece will hold together and won't fall apart. And we should be finished here in a couple minutes, and we'll set it up and take a look at it, see how we've done. Would like to mention that there is one final phase, which is called puttying. And what you do is you'll take a putty and you'll smear it in between the joints, the glass and the cane. And what it does is it seals the stained glass piece from the elements, rain, wind, dust, so it doesn't allow it to filter through and come into the house. Oh yes, these things are weatherproof. They're completely sealed. As you can see, we've got the completed panel. It's on its final stage before it goes into the door, which will be, I will take putty and brush it into the cane in between the glass and the cane, which will weatherproof it, water, rain, wind,